Springboks season for 2025 gets underway this weekend, folks, up against the Barbarians. Obviously a non-test match, but there's a number of uncapped players in this Springboks lineup who will be wearing the green and gold at full men's level, albeit not test level for the first time. And the Barbarians, coached by Robbie Deans, is a side stacked full of largely New Zealand players, but a sprinkling from the likes of Ireland and England and Uruguay, France and whatnot as well. We'll go through the squads which have been named, some predictions, how the teams may be going to play, and you guys can let us know your thoughts on how this match at Cape Town this weekend is going to go. For the Boks, 4 uncapped players. One of them in the front row, Big Intalabakanye, is a not quite as big a unit as I thought he was. I mentioned in the Bok squad naming video that he's 153. Apparently that was wrong. He slimmed down a bit. Now he's in the 140s for his kilos. Still a very, very big man. It's going to be fascinating to watch that guy at scrum time alongside Malcolm Marx and Oxenchair. That looks like a pretty formidable Springboks front row, but that almost goes without saying these days. Klein and Diacha is the second row. So chuffed to see Lut Diacha get back playing. He's genuinely been one of my favourite locks in World Rugby to watch for such a long time, just because the guy has an insane skill level. He's still got enough time, at his age to get himself back fit and accumulate quite a few more Springbok caps before he hangs up the boots. But really just pleasing to see him back after a full season in Japan without seemingly too much in the way of injury woes. Kolisi captains the side at 6, and then Vincent Chituka is another one of the uncapped guys there in the number 7 jersey. I've been impressed with his work rate for the Sharks this season. So, yeah, it's been a long time kind of rumoured that he might be finally going to get a cap once he got his Springboks or South African paperwork all sorted out. So big congratulations to him to be wearing the green and gold. And then Jean-Luc Dupria is another bit of a good news story in terms of a guy, because all the Dupria brothers just seem to be slightly down the pecking order, but he gets himself back in on the reward of some good form over in the Premiership and gets a start at number 8. So he's also another big old line-out option as well for the Boks to see how they go. I will be curious to see how conservative or open the Boks play this game, because Barbars games can tend to have that bit of festival atmosphere about them. Van der Berg and Mngomzulu is a very exciting 9-10 combo. You feel like if you give these guys the ball, there is going to be exciting things happening, although part of it may depend on how the weather behaves. Dale Ender and Creel, very experienced midfield, and then Kurtley Aronsa, Cheslin Colby, and Apalele Fassi, very, very attacking-minded back 3. So it looks to me, from that anyway, that the Boks are really looking to play this weekend. Manus van der Merwe is another guy who'll be getting his first appearance in the green and gold from the bench, so another congratulations to him. Vessels and Fushi are the other 2 front row replacements. So Fushi, the final of the 4 uncapped players at 32. That's another reward for hard work throughout his career. Mostert, Smith, the other 2 forward replacements, so it's a 5-3 split with Reinach, Libok and Esterhazen, the remaining players, the 3 backs on the bench. For the Barbars, like I mentioned, it's a big old New Zealand contingent. Some of the players will be very familiar to all rugby fans, being kind of end of their career top flight international players. Others may be a little bit unfamiliar if you haven't watched some Super Rugby this year. Cian Healy, Camille Shah and Paul Aloamili, very veteran looking front row. So, I don't know, like Cian Healy and Paul Aloamili are both veteran campaigners, both well into their 30s, and then Shah as well, the big old no-neck unit. They feel like they could come to scrum. Not if that's usually what you think of when you think Barbars lineups, but that's pretty impressive. Van Heerden and Ribbons in the second row. Van Heerden's been a bit of a tackle machine this year. With Rassi watching the game, he'll be looking to put in a good performance. And then the back row, interesting to see Peter Omani and Sam Cane lining up in the same back row together. Both captains their sides a couple of years ago when the Irish got a series win down here in New Zealand. There was a little bit of verbals between them, but they're on the same team for this one. Both hard tackling players, and Peter Omani is certainly another line-out option there. His final game too, so he'll be looking to, enjoy his last run out. And then Shannon Frizzell, a guy who still gets talked about here in New Zealand as a player who might be able to fill that number 6 jersey, which we've never really found a permanent replacement for ever since Jerome Kaino left the All Blacks setup. So yeah, Frizzell's there at number 8. He'll be looking to have a big ball carrying game there. More Kiwis in Kurbalo and Josh Jacob. If you haven't watched the Chiefs play this year, Jacob has been the kind of other 10 alongside Damian McKenzie. He certainly likes to play. Another kind of exciting ball-playing option, so he'll be looking to move the ball around this backline. Pete Umanga Jensen is another one. He's had an All Black cap, is it one? But he's off to Japan, I think, at the end of the season. Had a stellar season for the Hurricanes. Was certainly setting up a lot of tries. Fine Gonuku is another guy who's coming back to New Zealand rugby. Big ball carrying centre. So there's a heap of Kiwis in the back line. Mark Talea, maybe a bit underutilised by the Blues this year. He's another one off to Japan. So I'll be interested to see if the Barbars can get some ball out his way. And then Jacob Ratu Maitavuki Neepkins. Played for the Highlanders here in a team which didn't do that well, but the guy's got a big old boot and he's a pretty elusive runner too. Plus Melvin Jamina, you would imagine he'll be doing the place kicking from fullback if they opt for shots at goal. The Barbars, Ricky Riccatelli, Hassan Collingar and Will Collier. Those are the 3 forward replacements on the front row. Josh Berry is another guy who had a bit of a stellar season for my Blues. Helped get us through to a Super Rugby semi-final after we got a win over the Chiefs thanks to his late try. Hoskins Satutu will certainly add a bit of flair from the bench. Another guy who can't quite make the ABs. Santiago Arata, the Uruguayan, is there. Joe Marchant is the other back with Lachlan Boshia, another forward. So it's a 6-2 split for the Barbars. Hopefully these teams both come to play. Both the lineups you feel like have got a fair bit of attacking flair in them. Although it does look like Cape Town might be a wee bit wet at the weekend. Fingers crossed that doesn't stop these teams from chucking the ball around. South African ref and AJ Jacobs, fingers crossed he lets the game flow and give us a bit of a spectacle to watch. It is on a Cape Town 5:10 local kickoff. I think it's 3 in the morning for me in New Zealand. So in all likelihood, I'll be watching this one a wee bit delayed, but I will try my best to avoid the results. You guys let us know how you think it's going to go. Legendary Super Rugby coach Robbie Deans, what's he going to have up his sleeve up against double World Cup winning coach Rassie Erasmus? Hopefully it's an entertaining one, folks. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. If you want to watch it and you're in the States, it's on Flow Rugby, along with the other South African games later on in the season, plus the French series against the Kiwis, plus the English and Argentinians, the top 14 final. If you want to watch some rugby and you're in the States, check out the link down in the description to Flow Rugby. They are an affiliate of the channel. But yeah, you guys take care, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.